I am back again, and today's episode we are going to be discussing how to estimate your safe period and your unsafe period. If you're just seeing this phase for the first time, or your FYP, or maybe you just stumbled into it on Explore, wherever, you may need to go back and watch all the videos that I've been putting out there, because I'm gradually building a period series, and you may not be able to relate with us on this episode if you don't know how to calculate and figure out certain things. So, but for those of you that have been following me, you probably know how to do those things. So let's dive into it.
Okay, so based on your estimation, you're to be ovulating on the 5th day of March. Yes, I'm using March because I was born in March, and March is one of my favorite months in the year. So what I need you to understand about this safe and unsafe period concept is that your husband's contribution to the baby making process can stay in your body system for as long as 5 days. So if you met with your spouse on the 1st day of March, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you now ovulated on the 5th day. It means that your husband's contribution is still in your body system to fertilize your egg and give you a baby. If you met with him on the 2nd day of March, it will still be available up until when you ovulate. If you met on the 4th day of March, it will still be available up until 5th of March when you ovulated to fertilize the egg. If you even met on the 5th, it will still be available up until, of course, the same day to fertilize the egg. So your chances of getting pregnant are high around that period. And for you that is the lady, your own contribution to the baby making process is going to be released on your ovulation day, which is 5th of March. And some textbooks will say, oh, it is going to stay in your body system for as long as 48 hours. Some will say 72 hours. And that is like 3 days. So to be on the safe side, I always prefer to estimate with, to be on the safe side, I always prefer for people to estimate with 3 days. So you have released on this 5th day. This is 1 day. This is 2 days. And this is 3 days. So if for any reason you have mistakenly not met with your spouse to produce sperm that will be around this period to fertilize that egg, forget it, is gone. There is nothing that can be done about it again. But if you met with him on 6th, that means that there is an egg that is already on ground waiting to be fertilized. If you met on 7th, there is also an egg that is still on ground waiting to be fertilized. But anytime after that date, you have missed it. I strongly believe that at this point, so many persons have understood the concept that I'm trying to share. But just to solidify the information that I've passed across, and because I know that some people are watching this video because they are trying to conceive, some other persons are watching the video because they are trying to avoid pregnancy, let me also explain for the people that want to meet with their spouse in a safe period. So if you're meeting with your spouse, for example, on 8th March, after you are assumed to have ovulated on 5th March, it is safe because by that 8th March, the egg that you released during your ovulation would have shed out completely because it did not see any male factor to fertilize the egg and mark the start of a pregnancy. And then, even for the male factor that can stay as long as 5 days in your body system, it is surely going to die off because by the time that you see another ovulation, you will need to have completed this entire cycle, and then you will start all over again. See your period and then come back to ovulation, and that's a very long time. 5 days is a short time. Then for the people still on the matter of people that are looking for their safe period, if you now met with your spouse on the 28th of February or even the 27th of February, from this time to the next 5 days, count it now: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're also going to miss it. Chances that you get pregnant is also very slim because by that time the male factor would have died off and it is not going to meet your eggs to fertilize for you to get pregnant.
Signing out for today's vlog, but before I go, I just want to state at this point that this calendar method for avoiding or escaping pregnancy is so unreliable. I was telling someone that I just feel like all these natural methods of family planning should be scrapped. Safe, it's not even necessary because, for example, this calendar method has a 25% chance of failing you. Meanwhile, there are some other contraceptives that have only a 0.1% chance of failing you. So sometimes I wonder why anybody nobody will even want to use it. And there are so many things that can cause it. For example, you may be sure that you have a 22 days regular menstrual cycle, and then there are a number of things that can affect a woman's menstrual cycle in a month. Maybe for one reason or the other, you have been so stressed out and then you now end up ovulating earlier than you should. Or something will just happen and scatter your cycle, but it won't be such a significant difference. Then somehow, somewhere, you just get pregnant. So these are the things that you must consider, especially if you're saying that you want to use this method to prevent pregnancy and all of that. Anyway, if people are interested, we may even have to do another episode still discussing things about family planning. If there's any other thing you want us to talk about, feel free to mention it. I'll look into it. You will even make my work easier when you tell me what to talk about. Yeah, because I'll have less to think about. I'll just need to think, get the concept together, and shoot.